Good afternoon. And people, as always, there's no fake banter. How was your day? I don't know. I just spent 2 hours with you. I know how your day was. We are going to do.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks, Bobby. We are. I have a PSA to start. I have to do it. I don't want to do it. So let me start out, and I will say everything I am about to say to you is professional. It's not personal. It is business. It's not personal. I'd also like to state for the court and enter into evidence that I was very nice to the morning show yesterday. I was very complimentary both on the air and off the air, as I thought they handled the Mel Tucker thing really well. Well, unfortunately,
but wait,
I think they stepped in it this morning, and we're going to talk about it briefly because I will tell you what I heard this morning was some of the most disingenuous radio in the history of this radio station. When the subject came up on who is MSU's next coach, I wanted to crash my car versus keep listening. It was incredible to me what Stoney and John did. Again, professional, not personal. But for John with a straight face to say, well, Harlan Barnett should be the next head coach. I mean, he's a Spartan. I mean, honestly, that is the ultimate little pat on the head. I was just surprised John could make it in after hosting the coaches show at U of M. Oh, well, I mean, Harlan, Spartan, things. Then the conversation, Stoney must have had a coaching hot board from 2009. Hey, maybe MSU could hire Welfare Santa Claus, a.k.a. Chris Creighton.
Wow.
Jason Candle from Toledo? Dude, if you've been at Toledo for 9 years, you're going to die at Toledo. So let me just do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just do this.
Yeah, you've been at a Toledo radio station. Yeah, you probably don't have a great career in radio.
So I don't want to break it to the morning show, but I feel like I have to because I felt like I was listening to Joe Falls in the morning. MSU is top 20 in revenue, top 20 in attendance. It is a top 25 public university who just spent $9.5 million on a head coach. If you think they have to go to a local soup kitchen to hire their next one, you're in outer space. See, I know that don't fit the narrative. I get it. Little old Sparty up in EL, puffing on his meth, can't get out of his own way and needs help tying his shoe. I understand. I fully understand that John, whether consciously or subconsciously, just wants some hillbilly bleep hole to coach Michigan State and have them be totally non-threatening. Totally understood. But at least on this show, we're honest about it. See, I'm honest. I hate Michigan. Now, I'll pay my respect when you're good, and I'll bleep on you when you're bad. It's honest. Mm-hmm. There is no subconscious here. So if you're going to have a conversation about who is MSU's next head coach and what needs to happen for Harlan to earn the job, that's fine. Could we Google for 5 minutes? I mean, every person they brought up may as well be in the sequel to Cocoon. Oh, you think they could bring back the Nardog? The dude's 60. No. Has done nothing at Pitt I care about. Oh, what about the guy at Kansas? You mean Lance Leipold? 60. Chris Creighton? Christ, there are people at Eastern who don't even like Chris Creighton. He can't win the MAC. Sick bowling shirts. This idea that Michigan State is just poverty. No, that's how you want it to be, not how it is. And I thought they did a wonderful job handling the Tuck thing. They did. But holy mercy, Rico. What the heck?
No,
Jason Candle?
Okay, because here's the thing. Subconsciously, Mike, whether they realize or not, you just want to see Michigan State with a nice coach. A safe coach. But you don't want a coach that can beat Michigan. You don't want a coach that can come in there and win games and keep, and beat Harbaugh and beat the Wolverines. You don't want to see that if you're a Michigan fan. You want to see them get off the mat. You want to see them be decent, but then you also want a sacrificial lamb when they come into Ann Arbor every other year. Therefore, it's difficult for you to say, gosh, you know what? Put this coach there because they'll be really good. They may be better than us. So that's the fear. You don't want to see that.
So I want to have a conversation, a real one. And I can offer you, I don't want to do the coaching carousel stuff, but it's spinning out of control. It's like this station's obsessed with it. We're not even at the point to start looking for a new head coach, but okay, fine. But first things first, let's have the conversation of the day that everyone's having. What would it take for Harlan Barnett to keep this job? Because I'll tell you right now, he could go 13-0, and I don't want him back. I have less than 0% interest in Harlan Barnett. He's not head coach material. I think he's a vastly overrated guy. He's been coaching the secondary for how long? He did such a poor job that old Tuck had to take over coaching the cornerbacks. They had to go out and hire this Jim Salgado guy from the Buffalo Bills who lost his gig.
Right.
Come on, man, with this Harlan Barnett thing. The best thing he ever did was be attached at the hip or tucked under his wing, as he liked to say, to Mark. Now, Harlan is a good Spartan, a loyal Spartan, and he can shepherd this thing for 90 days. He is not a Power 5 head coach. Get out of here with that.
Well, I know he's always wanted the job.
Well, that's great.
I would simply say this.
I'd like to win the Kentucky Derby. Can I enter my name in that ring?
Sure.
You get my point.
I get your point, Mike. I think in order for Harlan Barnett to get the job, you're looking at 9-3. 9-3, meaning you won all the games that you were supposed to win and you knocked off one of the big boys, like Saturday against Washington or Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State. You showed the ability to take that team through all of this adversity and win that game. And then I think at that point he gets considered. But if it's not, he probably gets retained and kept on the next staff. But that's just me. What I don't want is a Bobby Williams type of situation where you kind of fall in love with a guy and you don't do the homework. And even if you end up keeping him, you at least went out and interviewed other coaches. I don't want what happened with Bobby to happen with Harlan. But Harlan, for me, the team has to finish 9-3, which means okay.
Breaking news at the 97.1 The Ticket compound. I completely agree with what Rico Beard just said, having no prior conversations about the topic at hand, and I am speechless. This is Mike Valenti reporting. There's nothing for me to add.
I mean, I read the email that you said for me and David to speak upon.
Oh, I forgot. What was that thing you compared yourself to? I can't remember it.
Step and fetch it.
Right. That the most disrespectful caller of the year. But I want to throw the number out. Because, look, it's very simple. If you want to have a conversation about what Harlan would have to do to stay, it has to be a lofty goal. Mm-hmm. Second of all, have a conversation about Harlan's career and the shortcomings. And then if we're going to do this ridiculous idea of a coaching carousel, do me a solid. If your opinion of Michigan State football is so low and you think they are literally on food stamps, then just avoid the topic.
Help me.
Right. Help me. I'm poor. Like, if you think MSU's rolling through the line with their WIC card, well, then I don't know what to tell you. But I wouldn't bring it to radio. Chris effing Creighton burned the stadium down. Jason Candle, he's been good at Toledo. Yeah, so good no one's hired him. I mean, what type of bottom rung garbage?
Especially after...
Damn it, Stoney. I was just so nice to you yesterday.
Especially after they just spent $95 million on a coach saying, hey, we want to play at like the big boys. We want to go out and get a name coach. It didn't work out, but that doesn't mean you quit trying and immediately say, all right, who's available in the MAC?
And the point I'm
Where's
making
McElwain
is
at?
I am at least honest about how I feel about the school down the road. John, subconscious or consciously. John, just say it. You know, we don't need to hide it. We're all family, John. We're all on the same damn team.
You don't want them to win.
Nah, exactly.
You don't want them to beat Michigan.
Just pat him on the head.
Yeah.
You know, John, if you view us like your crack-headed little cousin, then treat us like that. Put us in one of those conversion vans like at the end of Intervention. And 6 weeks later, Johnny was at Shady Acres in Palo Alto.
I think he wants John L. Smith, where you got a funny little coach and you lose to Michigan.
But say it honestly. Because if you seriously believe Harlan Barnett makes total sense to be the next head coach, you're telling me you don't know anything about college football. And I know that that's not the case. Right. John's incredibly knowledgeable. And here, I'll be even plainer about it.
Okay.
I actually like John. I don't know if John likes me. I don't care.
But see, I think for Harlan Barnett, he just saw the easy route of, well, he's a former Spartan. He was there. through all the years with D'Antonio, and he's the guy that's kind of keeping this thing together. The university looked to him and said, Harlan, will you keep this team together for this year? So I guess John just figured, well, he must be the guy.
Yeah, but then when it turned into the Stoney coaching carousel and it's Wilford Brimley, Abe Bagoda, and Peter Falk, I'm like, dude, can we do a modicum of research here?
Did Lou Holtz make the list?
May as well. May as well. Vince Dooley was on Stoney's list. I mean, it's just, come on,
Jim
boys.
Tressel, what is he doing?
I get it. I'm good with it. I'm not asking you to go crazy here now, but Jesus, fellas, I'm giving you facts here. Now, if you have information from behind the scenes that MSU's already determined a budget for the next head coach, which they have not, and if that said budget that isn't ready somehow was 33% of what they spent on Tuck, and we're basically hiring from the YMCA, by all means, go to air with it. But Christ on a cracker, can we at least make an honest attempt at this?
They tried.
Did they?
No, they didn't. No, I think subconsciously, Mike, they want the John L. Smith, the every now and then maybe you can beat Michigan. They don't want D'Antonio, who I think had a winning record. Believe it.
So just say it.
Tuck in disgrace walks away with a winning record against them. They don't want that.
So just say it, and it's okay. I don't take any offense to it. I never have. How could I be offended? We're getting our ass kicked in the rivalry lately. It's okay. Yeah. The Big Ten runs through Ann Arbor. I can be honest about it. I don't have to like you, but I'm honest. But if I have to, some of these coaching lists I'm hearing from other guys at this station, if that's where MSU's head is at, let me geographically move it because they can place it right up there, you know what. Because shut the program down.
I want to ask you guys, is Jim Caldwell available?
Yeah. Hey, up next, Stoney's top 25 coaches over the age of 70.
No, but you know who is?
Wayne Fonz.
Tony Dungy.
Oh, it's available, yeah. There
Sherm
you go.
Lewis.
Herm Edwards.
Marvin Lewis. The Joel Ferguson candidate. 248-539. Okay. 248-539-9797. Now, if you want some names, I can throw you some names, but you're going to be disappointed because the names I'm going to give you don't get a discount at the movies in the afternoon. Do cost money, might have upside, and or have already accomplished hashtag stuff. We can do that if you like. Because here's the funny part. John goes, oh, Harlan makes sense. Well, then good. When Harbaugh leaves at the end of this year, I'm sure you'll be advocating for Mike Hart. Right? He's a Wolverine. I mean, it only makes sense. No, you'll be the first person going out there saying Michigan ought to hire Bill F. and Belichick. Mm-hmm. So just do me a kindness, all right? It's tough in these streets. At least throw us some food that ain't rotten over here in Spartyville.
Yeah, I got a couple names, and it really depends on which direction. If Michigan State wants to stay at the big boy
Johnny
table,
Majors,
or if they just want to play poor and start all over again. I'm hoping that they don't.
Bobby Petrino?
No. But you do get a free moped.
Joe Paterno in a neck brace. You know, honestly, Stoney may as well have said, dig up Paterno's bones, put a sweater on him, and make that the head coach.
A skull with big sunglasses
right
on it.
97-1.